Okay, we have to talk about it. Halston. I saw the series on Netflix and immediately fell in love with it. The story is amazing, and yet I still don't understand how I, a Brazilian woman who always loved fashion, had never heard of him. This realization kinda makes me ashamed, but I mean, it's always time to learn something new, right? Rest assured that I won't be giving you any spoilers if you haven't watched the show. I'm here to talk about the one thing that made it all possible: fashion, and Halston's understanding of it. He may not be worldly famous to a fashion-loving millennium Brazilian woman, but he did make an impact, and oh, what an impact. I recently became interested in 1970s fashion, and Halston is everywhere. His style and his designs influenced a whole generation, a whole decade, and he continues to influence fashion till this day. Those long, flowy, amazing dresses, plunging necklines, thigh-high slits, that's all Halston. And it's more current than ever. You can literally take one of his designs and walk down the street right now feeling gorgeous and not feel like you're wearing a 1970s costume. That's because Halston's designs are timeless. They are chic and minimalistic, and they make a woman look and feel powerful. You can find his amazing personality in every design. I could go on and on talking about this. The psychological meaning, the feeling that using his designs bring to the person wearing it. But I'd rather you try it for yourself. That's the only way to really understand his genius. In order for me and you to do that, I've selected some designs that are featured on the show or are completely originals. The kind of 1970s designs that we can actually wear today. The Greek goddess dress, aka the minimalistic draped gowns. This is the type of design that checks all Halston's boxes. A long, flowy silk dress that clings to all the right places, featuring clean, sleek lines and in some cases a plunging neckline or a thigh-high slit. In an interview with Vogue in 1980, he said, "I think probably that I cleaned up American fashion at a particular point in time. It was just getting rid of all the extra details that didn't work. Bows that didn't tie, buttons that didn't button, zippers that didn't zip, wrap dresses that didn't wrap. I've always hated things that don't work." Halston's choice of garment finishes were all about simplicity. He would rather use hidden hooks and knives instead of zippers and buttons. The ultrasuede shirtdress, aka model number 704. The ultrasuede shirtdress is Halston's most iconic design. Designed in 1972, this trench coat style dress became Halston's signature. It was made in a new and innovative fabric, ultrasuede. Being an artificial fabric, its appearance resembled suede, but it didn't stain as a natural one. That meant it could be worn in the rain or machine washed. At that time, that was kind of a revolution because it meant freedom for the woman who could care easily for the garment. Inspired by a man's shirt, his most famous garment was subtle and sexy, with buttons that started at the breastbone instead of the neckline, revealing more cleavage. It also had a separate but matching white belt that could be wrapped in any manner. The model number 704 became a fashion staple, and its design is relevant until this day. Jumpsuits. Whether it was cashmere, jersey, or chiffon, it was about a total look. Clothes should be practical, glamorous, functional, and spare. His jumpsuits follow his own set of rules. Effortless and functional while extremely elegant, his jumpsuits were flowy yet made the woman's body look its best, creating curves while also accentuating the neckline and the waist. One interesting thing is that Halston always asked his models during fittings if they were comfortable in his designs. Karen Bjorson says that he would ask, "How does the clothes feel? Can you sit in this dress? Can you walk?" And she adds, "You were free inside your clothes." The Halter Dress. It was one of the most iconic 70s look. and it was popularized by Halston. Fastening at the waist and around the neck, the backless, often draped style meant freedom of movement, which helped entrench it on the dance floors of the disco era and beyond, making it the perfect look for a Studio 54 night out or a black tie event like the Oscars. Kaftans. The most effortless of all looks, the kaftan is another piece that is able to go from lounging at home to a red carpet event. Wear it on the beach with gladiator flat sandals or to a black tie affair with tons of jewels and a top knot. A kaftan is always chic. It's a trend that began in the 60s and has transcended time. Halston knew this very well and was sure to incorporate this minimalist design into a lot of his creations. Embracing women's body. Perhaps Halston's most contemporary contribution to the world of fashion is his habit of listening to the woman and designing for the woman body. He didn't only think clothing should make a woman feel powerful and beautiful, he also thought it had to bring comfort while also highlighting the best features of her body. He was the first designer to cast African American models and plus-sized actresses as his muses. He was one of the first designers to embrace every body type. He did not care how your body looked like. He understood that it was his job to make your body look good. Alpha Chin, who paved the way for African American supermodels, said that his clothes offer the wearer a sense of owning power without being masculine and honoring the body that you have. Pat Cleveland, another African American supermodel, says, "He took away the cage, and he made things as though you didn't really need the structure as much as you needed the woman." Essentially, he considered women more important than their clothes. It's such a basic concept, but one that fashion still has so much trouble figuring out. With its low-rise jeans trend and every trend that basically makes women look and feel less than they did when they were completely naked. Fashion should be about adding value, not subtracting comfort or beauty.
If there's any advice I'd give to that public out there, I think it would be the advice of know yourself. Know what suits your purposes. Know what works for your life to make you more attractive and more comfortable. And it'll work for you.